A new phenomenon has taken the sport of boxing by storm. No old smoke-filled arena here. Ladies and families welcome, but one thing hasn't changed. It's youngsters still fighting their hearts out for a chance to advance and make their mark in the sports world. From the beautiful Marriott Hotel in Irvine, California, Round One Productions presents All-Star Boxing. Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the Irvine Marriott for another night of exciting all-star boxing. I'm Rich Marotta. I'll be calling the action for you tonight, and we think we have an outstanding card and a lot of action for you straight ahead, so stay tuned with us. I'm joined this evening on the telecast by Lisa Bowman. Lisa, a number of fights that we've done from here at the Irvine Marriott. You know, the crowd here really seems to get behind their guys.
You've noticed. I think that's because these are young, up-and-coming boxers, a lot of them local, and the people get behind certain favorites, and you will definitely be able to tell which are the favorites.
There's no question about that. We're joined tonight as well by Armando Muniz, who fought 4 times for the World Championship in boxing, a former #1 contender in his own right. Armando, I think you might have come up in a little bit different atmosphere, fighting at the Olympic Auditorium, that kind of thing, on your way up, the more smokier clubs, I guess you could say. But what about the youngsters here in Irvine?
It was more of a boxing atmosphere, but you know, the boxing atmosphere is really in the middle of the ring. The Irvine Marriott is a glamorous place, and it's nice to be here. But once the bell sounds, it's the same thing for the fighters. They're after the big time, and if they win here, they're going to go to bigger things. So we're going to see the same kind of action, exciting fights all the time.
Okay, so that's it. We have an exciting card of boxing coming up for you, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we have a middleweight attraction up for you next, featuring Lee Sentinella, the transplanted Alaskan, as he takes on Kenny Larson in a 4-rounder. Let's go up for the ring introductions to Danny Valdivia.
Here we go, middleweights, 4 rounds. In the red corner to my left, out of Anchorage, Alaska, now living in Westminster, California, undefeated in 4 professional bouts, at 162, Lee Sentinella. In the blue corner, out of Redlands, California, looking for his first win as a professional, the 1983 Golden Gloves boxing champion, at 160.5, Kenny Larson. Our third man in the ring, Dr. James Jen Kim.
You tell them obey my command. Shake hands, good luck.
Well, very articulate simplicity from referee Dr. James Jen Ken. And we're ready for action here in this middleweight bout between Lee Sentinella and Ken Larson.
Sentinella was 5 times Alaska Gold Gloves.
Sentinella in the red trunks, Larson in the black. Sentinella has already become quite a local favorite with his story. The fact that he came down to Southern California from Alaska, ostensibly to find work. That's to find work as a fighter.
Well, you found it here at the Irvine Marriott, I'll tell you that, Rich.
Tonight means a lot to him. He wins tonight, he gets some backing from a group of local doctors.
You know, this fight here has all the makers of a fight in the knockout. Kenny Larson is looking for a win, his first win in 4 fights, and he's a brawler. And Sentinella is just the style he's looking for, so it's going to be a knockout, I'm pretty sure.
Crowd roared with that embarrassing turn by Sentinella. Larson moving in. Sentinella trying to put a combination together. Sentinella, since coming to California, won his only fight here, had a couple in Alaska before that. Really hadn't found much work, though. He was involved, I think, in a lot more barroom fights and that type of thing.
And that shows in his style sometimes.
But he's very cool, calm, and collected, Rich. He's holds guard real well, jabs well. He's making Kenny Larson, who's got more amateur experience than he does, fight his fight. Kenny Larson making a big mistake there. He's coming in and he's not coming in. He's coming in and he stops right in front of him and allows Sentinella to counter with the punches.
The left hook by Ken Larson surprised Sentinella. Sentinella now tries to go to body and head. Went downstairs with the right, then came upstairs with the left hook. Right glanced off the top of the head of Larson by Sentinella. Action beginning to pick up now.
Watch for Larson to make a mistake and keep his neck up, his chin up, and his hands down when they exchange punches. One of his mistakes. Larson got to be a little busier than he is. He's got to throw more punches. He's not doing it. It's giving Sentinella a chance to think and a chance to set up his punches.
Staying at long range, Sentinella looks as though he has a bit more style to him than does Larson.
Larson is managed by his father. He told me today that he figured if his son was going to go into boxing, he'd like to stay with him, stay close. He also felt like tonight might be at the crossroads for Ken. Make a decision whether to stay in it or not.
What do you think of that Mondo father being, well, we'll get to that next round, why don't we? That's an interesting subject, I think, because it doesn't always work out. Sentinella tries a combination to close out round one. Odyssey, I guess you could call it.
It is interesting. It's kind of a rocky story. Lee Sentinella coming down with his father and two very small children. He and his wife are divorced, and he has the children. So they came down to Westminster with virtually nothing. Neighbors pitched in, gave them furniture, and he's hanging on, trying to be a boxer.
He's doing a good job trying to win. He's learned the boxing trade well. He's in the corner of Noy Cruz, a very, very able trainer. Trained former welterweight champion Carlos Palomino, and he's a very, very good trainer.
Let's take a look at some of the action now in round one, Mondo.
He moves very well when he throws combination, moves his head up and down with the punches. Very difficult target.
Getting ready now for round two. And here we go into the second round of this scheduled four-rounder. We have to wait just a second while they get the stool out of the ring in Sentinella's corner, and now we're underway. For those of you just joining us, I'm Rich Marotta, along with former welterweight #1 contender Armando Muniz and Lisa Bowman. We're ringside at the Irvine Marriott, and you're watching a four-round middleweight bout between Lee Sentinella in the red trunks and Ken Larson in the black trunks.
Lisa said it right a while ago, Rich. This is a crossroads for Kenny Larson. If he doesn't win this fight, he really should give him much thought to continue fighting. Good left hand by Sentinella surprised Kenny Larson.
Let's go back to that subject we began to broach in the last round, Mondo, the fact of a father being in the corner with a fighter. You think that's a good idea?
I've always thought it was a bad idea because there's too much sentiment involved. There's not enough logic. It's too objective. It has to be subjective in here. It has to be more objective instead of subjective. And when the father's inside, good left hook by Sentinella and surprised Larson. It just you don't do things the logical way. You do them with a family love way. And you really can't do it in boxing.
I asked Larson about that, Mr. Larson, and I said, first of all, is Kenny paying any attention to you? He said, yes, absolutely, he is. Actually, Mr. Larson said he would not have put Kenny in this fight. He thought Sentinella might be a little too tough for him.
There again, a father tends to be too careful. And you have to go and find out, can you fight? Go out and fight the best ones. And Kenny can beat Sentinella if he fights the right way. He's not fighting the right way right now. I've seen Kenny fight before, and he's doing everything wrong right now.
What should he be doing?
You think he'd be more successful? He just tried to rough him up?
If you're going to rough him up, rough him up. If he's going to box, he's doing neither one of them, see. Right now, he's just standing in front of him. He's standing in front of him. He's being a good target. He's punching back at him. But Kenny should be jabbing, throwing to the body quite a bit, and he's just waiting quite a bit. Leaves his hand wide open like that.
But from what I see, it looks to me as though Larson would be more successful if he could turn this into a street fight.
Well, if he did that, if he just did one or the other, fought or boxed, he's not doing either one, see. He's right in front of Sentinella, allowing him to throw his combinations. Like I say, he should go in the jab, throw to the body, hook to the body, and then move away. He's not doing that. Now, on the other hand, Sentinella is doing a good job. He's boxing well. He's punching well.
Good left hook by Sentinella. That one rocked Larson a little bit. Another left hook, but that one just grazed the nose of Larson. And left, though, is beginning to find its mark from Lee Sentinella.
And Sentinella's left cheek is very red. Looks like if it were hit just right.
Yeah, it looks like it has an abrasion on that on the cheek. But Sentinella is dominating the second round.
Kenny's got to throw some more punches, Rich. He's got to throw more jabs, more right hands. He's got to score more punches on the body of Sentinella. All he's doing now is giving him more confidence.
We're into the final seconds now of round two. There
we see Kenny Larson getting instructions from Amado, his trainer Amado. who's a well-known trainer in the San Bernardino area. Kenny Larson's amateur record, 18 wins, 11 losses, as you can see there. Pretty fair background.
What are you going to do there? You got to back him up, Kenny. You got to get down low. Come on, get out there and go after it, Kenny. This guy is nothing. I'm telling you.
Use your right hand more, Kenny. He's open for right hand. Jab and right hand.
You're fighting with him. Staying with his speed. You got to take it to him. Make him fight back at you.
There's the
That's the weight.
Exactly.
Straight right hand. Go under him, Kenny. Come on, Kenny. You got to do it this time.
Weed, a lot of weed.
Punch out.
And ready now for round 3 of this scheduled 4-rounder. In between rounds, the corner of Kenny Larson urging the fighter to go out and go for it.
That's exactly what I was saying, Rich. And yeah, good right hand by Sentinella. Only one thing wrong with that, Rich, if I may criticize that, you should only have one guy telling you what to do, not 3 or 4, you know? And that confuses the fighter. There he is, throwing good jabs there. If he would do that more often.
Well, see, he threw the jabs, Mondo, but then he started to back off.
Exactly.
He got caught with the tail end of a right hand from Sentinella that backed him into the ropes.
You know, it's really a shame. Kenny Larson has all the ability in the world. He really could. He's just not using the abilities he has.
You know, he's throwing a pretty good left hook to the body, Larson is. And I know Sentinella felt that last one. I saw that right arm immediately come down after he landed it. That left hook is beginning to get in there from Larson.
He's beginning to throw it more and more. Good jabs. See, if he did that more often, I think he'd be a head on points at this point in the fight. Sentinella, at this point, I think what he's doing, Rich, he's just boxing him, staying away. I think he feels he's a hit on points. He's probably going to try and stay away for a round and get him more tired. They counter with like he's doing right there. Good counter with the right hand.
Sentinella would like to keep this a boxing match if he can, and now we're looking into the corner where the father and trainer of Kenny Larson
right hand
yelling
the body,
instructions.
Kenny,
That's his
back.
father right
Fire
there.
Right in there. Come on.
You could hear those instructions from the corner. Larson, but Larson got caught with a right hand.
That was a terrific right hand. It's amazing he stood up before that. Good right
Sentinella now opening up. Good left hook to the body.
Kenny Larson fighting back after absorbing a tremendous right hand. You've got to give him a lot of credit because he took a real hard shot there. It's very, very demoralizing. And he must know right now that he has a big uphill climb right now.
Sentinella appears to me to be more impressive in this second outing in California than he was in his first one, when he appeared to me to be very nervous and tight, even though he won.
Well, he told me that he had done some over-dieting very quickly in the last few days. His stomach was in knots, and he said he was not feeling really well last time he boxed here. So I think he is feeling better tonight, and it is showing. And he's been training. He's not quite as wild as he was.
Yeah, he looks a little more comfortable in the ring.
There again, you see Kenny Larson making the same mistake again. He's going in, but he's not doing anything. He's got to throw more rights, more uppercuts.
Well, Larson got off to a fast start in this third round, but he failed to sustain it, and Sentinella's dominated the last minute. Bell into round 3. Again, we follow Kenny Larson back to
position. I think it's important for Kenny to realize now that this is a very important round in the fight here, the last round.
You're not throwing him.
He's got to go out there and follow instructions.
Off the hook.
That's his father right there talking to him.
Let's take a look at some of that action now, Mondo.
That's the right hand that caught him midway through the round.
He tried to answer back, but it was with more of a slap really than a punch. Sentinella was working very well at this point. Good combinations and digging the body shots as well.
That was a real hard body shot going through.
Take a look at that last right that Sentinella landed. Good shot.
And you know, all those right hands, they might not have the full impact, but they had a lot of impression on them.
And here we go now into round number 4. This is the final round of this middleweight bout between Lee Sentinella in the red trunks and Kenny Larson in the black trunks. Larson still winless after 3 pro bouts, and he appears to be behind in this one to Sentinella, who is undefeated in his 4 pro fights.
It's all or nothing for Ken Larson at this point.
Well, let's see if he throws caution to the winds.
It's another good right hand by Sentinella. He seems to be walking into him, walking in with his hand down. Open target for Sentinella. And you know, Kenny Larson's got to go in. He's got to go make the fight. He's got to look for that win. If you notice, Rich, Sentinella is well balanced when he throws his punches. On the other hand, Larson is leaning back or leaning to the side. He's not balanced when he throws his punches, right or left.
Armando, we thought originally this would come to a knockout. It doesn't look like it's going to.
Yes, I was wrong, Lisa.
That wasn't why I brought that up. I was wondering
That's
why.
right. Embarrass the expert, Lisa.
Well, you got to give Kenny Larson a lot of credit. He's trying it real hard. He knows what he has to do, and he's trying to do it. Another right hand by Sentinella.
You know, a lack of a knockout here has not been from a lack of crisp punching, though. Both of these fighters have landed some good punches.
You've got to give them both a lot of credit, Rich. Good fight. Excellent fight.
And Sentinella much more impressive this time out than his first outing in Irvine. Left hook by Sentinella. Down goes Larson.
There it is.
And that is it. Boy, he was groggy, and you saw that look come into his eyes immediately. Outstanding job by Dr. James Jenkin calling that bout without even bothering to make a count. Because the way it looks, Larson might have even been able to beat a count.
I think Larson would easily have gotten up, but it would be in vain. Rich, he was already behind on points, and he wouldn't won the fight. It's really a shame, I think, for the better of Kenny Larson's health. Referee did the right thing, stopped the fight.